My name's John Herring.
Hi, my name is Madison Awalt.
Hi, my name is Chelsea Arellano.
My name is Juliana Amin.
My name is Chris Wang.
My name is Ali Azhar.
Hi, my name's Matthew Sampson.
Christy Cole.
I'm straight. I'm in a fraternity. I'm a member of the 2013 Colonial Cabinet. I'm a theater kid. I'm a performer.
I'm pretty involved on campus. I'm a Colonial Cabinet member. I'm also a member of a sorority, and I'm a presidential scholar in the arts here in acting.
First, I identify as a woman, which I think is significant, especially living in a patriarchal society. As a woman, I face challenges and pressures on a day-to-day basis that men don't necessarily face. Racially, I identify as white, though ethnically I identify as Mexican. On the Mexican part of my cultural background, I am first generation. My mother is directly from Mexico, so I feel a much more intimate connection to that part of my cultural heritage. On my father's side, I'm Italian Irish, but I'm about fourth generation at this point, so I'm not as closely connected to the cultural tradition and background as that part of my heritage.
I identify myself as a Taiwanese American. When people ask me, that's what I say. Um, but that process in itself has been an evolution because ethnically I'm Chinese, and when I first came here to the United States, I used to tell people that I was Chinese, and then people would think that I was from China, but I've never been to China. And so I started evolving, and then I said that I was Taiwanese, and then I started saying that I was Taiwanese American, and and broadly I'm Asian American too.
I identify myself as a Muslim. I used to be a little bit more religious, a little bit more conservative back in high school, but I think ever since coming to college, I've sort of experimented more and sort of have really done a lot of self reflection about my religious beliefs, my spirituality. So that's why I say I loosely identify as a Muslim. Furthermore, I also identify myself as being a gay male, and that's something that I've sort of um, come come to terms with back in freshman year. Something that I sort of struggled with back in high school, but something that I think GW has really given me the environment in which to really be myself.
For a long time, I only really saw myself as a dancer, but now I really view myself as an artist, as someone who is making creative work, and essentially, I believe that I am an artist in everything that I do, and that's what I'm aspiring to do. I also really feel like I am not only, I mean, part of my identity is woman, but on top of that, I'm an independent woman. I'm very autonomous and I have a very high level of self respect. And I typically don't rely on others to do something, or like if I want to go somewhere or do something or I need something done, I'll do it myself. Um, Another identity that I have is queer. And this is something that is, it's a relatively new identity for me. I mean, I've known that I wasn't straight for a while, but I kind of had a hard time figuring out exactly what I was and feeling like I needed to be one thing, and, that I either needed to be a lesbian, and if I wasn't a lesbian, then I must just be bisexual. And, I'm not entirely sure I fit into either one of those categories, and so I just know that I'm not straight, so I'm queer.
Although I am from a relatively affluent suburban area and I go to an expensive university and I'm in a fraternity, unlike many people would think, I'm actually not wealthy. My mom and I live in a 2-bedroom apartment in the suburbs of Pennsylvania.
I actually have depression, and I've had it essentially since my senior year of high school. And most people wouldn't guess this because, I'm really involved on campus. I usually always have a smile on my face. I really laugh most things off, but it's been a really big problem for me for a good part of my, college experience.
I believe that family is a crucial part of how I was brought up and who I am today, and I'm forever thankful for the family that I have. But I have also been raised by a family that has taught me the importance of my own personal education and not putting that on hold for the pressures of having a family myself.
I think that the way that we view women and expectations that we have for women are really troublesome, and I do my best to, fight against those things in my daily life. It's not necessarily about stereotypes, but for me it's more about expectations, like how I'm supposed to behave as like a young girl in my 20s and as a college student, and how I'm supposed to interact with men and boys. I feel like there are a lot of expectations on women in those areas, and that's pretty much why as a feminist, I don't take shit from anybody. And I think that a big stereotype about that part of my personality is that makes me a bitch, or it makes me difficult. And I think that just makes me a strong person.
People may have this stereotype that, gay people aren't religious, or that religious people can't be gay, and I just don't think that's true. Although it's been interesting, I feel like I am able to fulfill both aspects of my life to the best of my ability. And I think both religion and both sexuality are two things that are incredibly personal. So I don't really, this is the first time I'm publicly talking about something like this. So I don't really go around talking too much about my sexuality or religious beliefs too much with friends or family. It's something that I really sort of keep to myself, to be honest, because I just don't think it's something that needs to be shared with other people. I think it's just something that's personal, something deep within.
There's all these stereotypes that people have about deaf people that say they're stupid, they don't have that good education, or they can't listen to music, or they can't talk, and they can't do anything. But the famous quote is, deaf people can do anything except hear. And so, like, that's been sort of a mantra that I've heard throughout my entire life. And like, I think that just sums it up perfectly. That answers all the stereotypes right there. I break up, I can do whatever I want, except I just can't hear a little bit.
So for a while, I really struggled being a non-straight female dancer. I felt that it was very abnormal and not very socially acceptable, and I feel like there's sort of this standard where it's more acceptable for male dancers to be gay, but not for female dancers to be gay or queer or bisexual. The idea that, if you're a woman and you're dancing, that you're delicate and dainty and you like men and you love to wear dresses and all of these things. And that's not necessarily true, but in my head I believed that. And I was extremely afraid of telling people in the dance department about this part of my identity, because the dance is probably the biggest part of my life here at GW. It is my community, it's my friends, it's my refuge, it is my safe place. And I was so terrified of that being taken away from me because of my sexuality. And I really I didn't want people to act differently around me or treat me differently or feel uncomfortable around me in any way. I didn't want the other girls to feel like I was looking at them in a sexual or more than friends way, because I consider them my sisters. I would never disrespect anyone in that way. But it is scary for me. It was very scary when we change in front of each other in the dressing room. We are rolling around on the floor, pressing our bodies up against one another. So we're very up close and personal. And, you know, I didn't want anyone to feel uncomfortable around me. So anyway, I did make the choice to tell a small group of girls my junior year about my identity as a non-straight person. And I shared about my ex-girlfriend, my relationship at that time, and I was so scared, but I was met with so much support and love, and I just immediately felt relieved, and now I feel completely safe to be who I am. And I mean, when
I'm not really sure yet. I know that I've a passion for a lot, and I love to dance, I love to act, I love to sing, I love psychology, I love reading, I love writing, and I'm not really sure, how that's gonna matter in the future, but the great thing about GW is that, I don't have to know yet. I don't have to know for a while, and, that's something that's really cool.
I matter because I am a human being and I have unique experiences and thoughts that I think are worth sharing with everybody. And I feel that way about everybody on this campus. Like, I really appreciate hearing from folks who have different experiences than me. And I think that I just matter because I'm a person.
Everybody has something to say. Everybody has a story. Everybody has a passion. Regardless, people have different passions. People have different opinions. I know people who have way different passions, and I know people who have the same type of passion as me, but have way different opinions. But and all of that matters. I think it all matters, even if we differ.
I'm someone with a voice. I'm someone with an opinion. And I think that, GW has thousands of students, and every single student has their story to share. And a big part of this initiative is for me to share my story. I've talked about personal details about my life that I've never really shared with other people. And I think that, with opportunities like this, every single student at GW has their own unique individual story, and every student at GW matters, because everyone has a voice, everyone has an opinion, everyone has a thought, especially in this city.
I matter because I am, a funny guy. I like spending time with my friends. I love making people laugh. I like being politically involved. I'm true to myself. I'm true to my interests. I'm interested in something, and I'm very interested in it. And I want to spend my life exploring the most of it I can.
I am GW.
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 I am GW.